In a surprise move, it seems like Arsenal have interest in Chelsea striker Tammy Abraham. So today we will get to the bottom of this transfer. What is also happening with the future of midfielder Granit Xhaka? And what about Thomas Partey and his injury? Join me as we discuss in today's episode of The Transfers FC. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bows14 and welcome back to the boys channel. As per, I'd massively appreciate if you guys can go down there and smash a like on the video, and while you're down there, please do consider subscribing to the boys channel, because we are less than 8,000 away from having our very own Emirates Stadium. But let's get straight into the transfer news, and starting off with Tammy Abraham. Tammy, the same Donny that scored the winning goal against Arsenal yesterday in our pre-season game against Chelsea, is things that you don't want to see. But in terms of the player, could he soon be playing for our gargantuan institution? Well, let's find out. According to a West Ham source, an ex-West Ham employee, he says that Tammy Abraham does not want a move to West Ham and has his eyes set on a move to Arsenal. Now, in terms of this source, they are normally very reliable when it comes to West Ham transfers. And so essentially what they are saying is Abraham has requested Arsenal over West Ham, essentially putting our competition out of bed for this transfer. The same source also claims that Chelsea have told Arsenal and West Ham target Tammy Abraham that he is available for a transfer and would now be willing to accept offers of £30 million for him. In the past, this price tag was £40 million, so it seems like Chelsea have softened their stance. But then the question really is £30 million the real estimate value of Tammy Abraham? Even the reliable source in Matt Law says Arsenal are interested in signing Tammy Abraham, but Chelsea are also braced from a bid from Aston Villa should Jack Grealish complete a move to Man City. Chelsea are also listening to offers of Callum Hudson-Odoi. So now Arsenal have a brand new competitor, and we are talking the same team that beat us to the signature of a certain Emiliano Buendia. Yes, you know who it is, it's Aston Vanilla. Now, in terms of your boys' personal thoughts on this transfer, Abraham is a decent goal scorer, don't get it twisted. In his only full season as Chelsea centre forward, he had 15 non-penalty goals, and to put that into context, last season our strikers in Aubameyang and Lacazette both had a combined 18 non-penalty goals scored in the Premier League. So Abraham is a decent goal scorer, but in terms of his other play, we're talking hold-up play, etc., your boy is not personally convinced. And even though he is 6 foot full tall, he also isn't the most convincing in the air, which is a massive surprise. And in terms of his overall link-up ability, it's also very hit and miss. And so forgetting the price tag for a second, is Tammy Abraham the real centre forward to take Arsenal to the next level? I have my massive doubts. But in terms of the player, he wants to come to our institution, and there was even a video yesterday of Abraham after his game against Arsenal where he's sharing words with Joe Willock, covering his mouth, as well as going over to Mikel Arteta, shaking his hand and also giving him a cheeky little smile. Now, you can read into that how you want to, but again, it's just things kind of confirming that Abraham does want to come to Arsenal, and it seems like Arsenal want to see Tammy Abraham part of their long-term projects. But in terms of your boy's long-term project, I just don't know if Tammy's the guy. He might be, he might not be. So I'm going to throw it to you guys down below in the comments. Let me know your honest thoughts on Tammy Abraham as a player, and would you seriously take him at Arsenal? But keeping it on the strikers, what about a certain Lautaro Martinez? According to Gazzetta dello Sport, during Arsenal talks with Inter for Lautaro Martinez, Arsenal suggests they will include Lacazette, but Inter's answer was a firm no. Only a huge offer will tempt them to sell. So Arsenal tried to do a cheeky little swap deal, but in terms of Inter, they said no, they want cash, and they want cash only. In terms of the price tag we're talking for Lautaro, we're talking £60 million. Again, it's a hefty price tag on a very decent player, and at 23 years of age, the Argentine certainly has a lot of potential in the bag. But at the same time, when you pay that sort of cashola, you want to play for the now and really have an impact on the team. As good as a player Martinez is he really the right option for Arsenal when they're spending that sort of money? You could also argue, is he really a lone centre forward? Because of course last season he was playing next to Romelu Lukaku in a strike partnership, and so would he be able to thrive on the same levels without a player as good as Romelu Lukaku? So just like a man like Tammy, what are your guys' thoughts on Lautaro Martinez? And if you could pick out of both strikers, who do you prefer to see Arsenal sign this summer transfer window? According to Diario Sport in Spain, Lacazette could be available for 17 million euros this summer. Arsenal intends to sell the Frenchman. Atletico Madrid are very keen. Let me make it very clear, if Arsenal are to sign a brand new centre forward, it is fully dependent on the transfer of Alexandre Lacazette. Now, with 1 year left on his current Arsenal contract, I think a fee of 17 million euros is definitely very reasonable. Lacazette is on gargantuan wages at Arsenal. He's on a lot of money per week, and so the real question is, who is going to pay that sort of money week in week out to Alexandre Lacazette? And seeing as we're becoming centre forwards FC, what about our captain, Mr. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? He has not scored a single goal in pre-season, and as much as your boy doesn't want to doubt Oba, I cannot help but think at 32 years of age, we are clearly seeing a massive decline in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It hurts me inside, but it is the truth. And so while you are down there in the comments, let me know your thoughts on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette, and do you trust Aubameyang specifically going into this massive, gargantuan season for Arsenal Football Club? Okay then, moving on, let's discuss a certain Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka was set to go to Roma. It was a done deal. It was basically confirmed. He had agreed personal terms. He had agreed a contract. And so why in August 2021 is he still an Arsenal player? Well, my friends, it is quite simple. AS Roma, the club, have simply never stumped up the cash that Arsenal were looking for. And so with that, Arsenal have become impatient, and today we have a breaking development. As the Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta to TalkSport said, Granit Xhaka is going to stay with us. He is a key member of our squad. Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed that Arsenal offered him a new contract until June 2025 with an increased salary, and are confident to complete the agreement soon after turning down Roma bid of 12 million euros plus 3 million euros in add-ons. Now, I know that a lot of fans are gonna lose the plot because a lot of fans have massive doubts of Xhaka as a player. Now, personally, I don't know what more Arsenal could do. For me, they set a reasonable price for the player at 20 million euros, because say what you want about the player, but he has been a starter for Arsenal Football Club for the last 4 years. So a fee of 17 million pounds is surely more than reasonable, especially if the player has 2 years left on his contract. And so yeah, Jose Mourinho wants Xhaka and Xhaka wanted Mourinho, but ask yourselves the question, if you were the Arsenal negotiator, would you really accept a 12 million euro bid for Granit Xhaka? Xhaka himself, after scoring against Chelsea, said it felt really good to be home, with a heart emoji and a home emoji. So Xhaka himself has kind of confirmed that he's also going to stay, which means that Arsenal will not sign a brand new central midfielder as things stand. And so alongside Xhaka, that leaves Arsenal with the likes of Thomas Partey, Albert Sambi-Lokonga, Lucas Torreira and Mohamed Elneny. As much as Roma are trying to be very patient, Arsenal understand with all the other priorities, we simply do not have the time to waste. And so if Xhaka was to go, let's just say towards the deadline day, it would not give Arsenal enough time to get a suitable replacement. And so that must be the logic of why Arsenal has offered Xhaka a brand new contract, to preserve his value, and secondly, just end the situation altogether. Now, your boys' personal thoughts are, if Xhaka is going to stay, I need to see a right back, I need to see an attacking midfielder, and I need to see potentially a centre forward and maybe even a goalkeeper. And so if Xhaka staying means that Arsenal will have the funds available for that, then so be it. But now it's over to Arsenal and Edu Gaspar. Let's see what you guys have in store. But what's your own thoughts on Granit Xhaka looking set to stay this summer at Arsenal Football Club? Moving on to the central attacking midfielders, what about a certain Matheus Pereira? Well, the West Brom central attacking midfielder today has confirmed on his Twitter that he wants to leave West Brom, and he has put an open transfer request out there to social media. Of course, Arsenal's priority in that department is a certain James Maddison, but let's just say Arsenal could not agree a fee for the player. Could Arsenal then turn to a certain Matheus Pereira, who had 11 goals and 9 assists for West Brom, relegated West Brom last season in the Premier League? And bear in mind that those are numbers that James Maddison has never hit. So let me know, would you take a certain Matheus Pereira if Arsenal could not sign James Maddison? It is just an option, the rest is down to you and you to discuss. In terms of Thomas Partey's injury, Mikel Arteta says, I just had a talk with the doc, he'll have a scan tomorrow and at the moment it's not looking good. There are tears in my eyes and tears of pain. If we lose man like Thomas Partey going into the start of the season, it's going to hurt me. It's going to break my heart. As he was absolutely balling out against Chelsea yesterday in the first half before his injury. And so my fingers are crossed and I am praying to the Almighty that this is nothing serious. But as concerning as the injury was, he was then pictured in Paddington, London, walking walking normally without any limp. It seems like the Almighty has listened to the prayers of Arsenal fans, but again, nothing has been confirmed. But according to CBS reporter James Bench, Thomas Partey is hopeful his absence won't be a lengthy one, according to a source close to the player. Naturally, all parties are waiting the results on tomorrow's scan for a clearer indication. And in terms of the photo of Partey walking without a limp, Dr. Raj Palbra says this would be a good sign for Partey's severity of injury. If the team thought it was serious, he'd be in a protective cam boots with reduced activity until they knew more. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that puts any sort of ligament damage in the ankle to one side. But let's just say Partey was injured for Arsenal's first game of the season against Brentford. I would then want to see a midfield duo of Albert Sambi-Lokonga and Granit Xhaka. Forget about Mohamed Elneny. But until then, my friends, we are going to pray, we're going to have fingers crossed and hope for the best. Okay, then moving on to the other Arsenal news today. First things first, we have a brand new official contract signing and we have some breaking news. As Arsenal have confirmed today that Kido Taylor-Hart has signed his first professional contract with the club. He of course was out of contract and was set to leave Arsenal, but now he is set to stay, and this is all down to a certain Per Mertesacker, who deserves massive credit for all the work he's doing currently in the Arsenal academy. And I think the likes of Smith Rowe and Saka have shown these youngsters there is always going to be a pathway at Arsenal Football Club. In some more positive news, Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Bukayo Saka will be back in training in the next few days, as given the minutes he played at Euro 2020, he had a slightly longer break than Ben White. Our star boy, man like Bukayo, is on his way back to Arsenal, and as great as he has been for Arsenal, in terms of that right wing now, we do have a certain Nicolas Pepe, Nicolas Pepito, and Nicolas Pepedinho. And so I'm going to ask you guys a real cash money question now. Once man like Bukayo is fully fit, out of him and Nicolas Pepe, who do you want to see as Arsenal's first team starting right winger going into the season? This is going to be quite a debate. But that is the video there and there. If you have enjoyed, make sure to smash a like on it. And while you are down there, please do consider subscribing to the boys channel. If you want to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest episode of the Transfers FC. And is a certain Tammy Abraham going to be Arsenal's brand new centre forward? We, my friends, are going to have to wait and see. Until then, I will see you guys later. Everett.